Justin Timberlake proved that he really was bringing sexy back when he was crowned the King of Sex by Rolling Stone magazine in 2007, beating George Clooney and Brad Pitt to the title. At the age of 26, the former busboy was sitting on top of the world, having sold more than 60 million albums worldwide and with 6 Grammy Awards and 2 Emmys to his name. He'd come a long way from Memphis, Tennessee, where he grew up singing country music songs as plain old Justin Randall. His bid for fame began on the TV talent show Star Search, and at the age of 13, he donned the big ears and hit the big time in the new Mickey Mouse Club. As well as opening the door to teenage romance with fellow Mouseketeer Britney Spears, the show also introduced him to his future bandmate, JC Chasez. After a 7-year run with NSYNC, which yielded millions of sales and a host of Grammy nominations, JT struck out on his own with his first solo album, Justified. Nominated for a host of MTV Europe Awards in 2003, he didn't have high hopes of the night.
I don't know, man. I'll be satisfied with anything. I'll be satisfied with it. I'll take best ass in a video, and it doesn't even have to be mine. Just maybe like an extra in my video, and I'll take it.
But he ended up going home with 3 awards and went on to win 2 more at the Grammys for Best Pop Vocal Album and Best Pop Vocal Performance. The award-winning video to his single Rock Your Body also cemented his reputation as one of the best dancers in the industry. A year later, he teamed up with former Mickey Mouse colleague Christina Aguilera to take to the road.
We're both in new places in our career,
right.
Even though this is my first solo album and it's her second.
Kind of reintroducing both of ourselves as artists.
We just thought, why not?
Their combined Justified and Strip tour took the two 22-year-olds on 45 dates across North America.
I'll be performing Justin's.
Yeah, and I'll be performing Christina's, so.
And it'll be fun.
No, we just doing our own stuff.
Yeah, I mean, of course, our own stuff. I'll be reinventing some of my old stuff into, you know, where I'm at musically today with this album, and have some sing-along action, and there's something definitely for everybody.
As well as giving Justin the opportunity to expand his live performance skills, the grueling tour was a great test of his physical fitness.
It's really about stamina, you know, and making sure you get enough rest to keep this going for 3 months, because it's a grind. It really is a grind. You're on a bus every night. You're traveling, you know, every day. And if you're not doing that, then you're on stage, you know, basically getting the cardio workout of your life.
Another of Justin's on-stage collaborations proved to be just as grueling, if for very different reasons. In 2004, his duet with Janet Jackson during halftime at the Super Bowl treated 140 million viewers to the sight of Janet's breast, bared courtesy of a well-timed rip by Justin. The fallout from the so-called wardrobe malfunction threatened to stall both of their careers, and Justin dutifully apologized while accepting the first of his 2 Grammys at the 2004 awards. After that controversy, he put a hold on his recording career to concentrate on other pursuits, like acting in films and launching his own fashion label. But 2 years later, he was back on song with Future Sex Love Sounds.
I think that what we were trying to create was just something new and fresh. It's sort of the opposite of Justified in how non-personal it is. I mean, Justified, it's fair to say that that was pretty autobiographical or inspired by what I was going through at the time.
His second album presented a much more sophisticated and sultry side of Justin than Justified.
I think it's important on your sophomore album to broaden your sound, to try something new, because if you do the same thing, then your third album has to be the same thing, and your fourth album has to be the same thing, and you don't grow, you know. And quite honestly, like if I'm not gonna push it, then who's gonna push it, you know? I say that in a humble way, you know. I say that in a very grounded way. I just think like that's the challenge that I like to put on myself.
He shared the producing honours with the likes of will.i.am, Danger and Rick Rubin, as well as his Justified collaborator, Timberland.
I knew I wanted to work with Timberland again, and I knew I wanted to work with him a lot more on this album because, personally, in my opinion, my favorite song off Justified is Cry Me a River. It's my favorite. So I remember calling Tim on the phone and asking him if he thought we could do 5 or 6 Cry Me a Rivers. And so it's a lofty challenge, but, you know, Timberland's the type of producer that when you call him and say that, it challenges him. He doesn't back down from that. And that's something that I knew I would get from him.
For the album's lead single, Sexy Back, he found inspiration in the 70s and 80s sounds of Prince and David Bowie, and searched for a more rocky edge to his voice.
I remember thinking so bad that I wanted to be an R&B artist on the first album, and then everybody kept calling me a pop artist. So I think somewhere in the last 2 years, I sort of accepted that and decided that, well, then I don't just do R&B then. And it actually helped me, it inspired me even more once I sort of became humble to that.
But more than bringing Sexy back, what he really wanted to do was make people dance.
Creating something that, like you said, people will play in their cars, or clean their house to, or have a house party to, or make love to, or, you know, when it comes on in a nightclub, you know, they want to jump on top of a table and dance. That's what I'm more inspired by. I don't feel like I'm actually bringing Sexy back. I don't know if Sexy actually left us.
After Justin performed it at the 2006 MTV Music Awards, Sexy Back shot straight to the top of the Billboard charts and stayed there for 7 consecutive weeks. The album's second and third singles also topped the charts, confirming JT as the top pop act of the year, which helped set him up for a collaboration with the undisputed Queen of Pop herself.